Okay, I guess it's recording. So let's talk about the couple of things that I mentioned in the email. CERCLA, C-E-R-C-L-A. It stands for Comprehensive Environmental Recovery Law Act. And CERCLA, the purpose of it was the EPA was finding all of this bad ground, like that was massively contaminated with underground storage tanks, old gas tanks from like old gas stations, just some really bad stuff. And there was no way to clean it up because the people that actually created the contamination were dead or broke or whatever. So the EPA created an account called a super fund. Not super friends, super fund. And when you think super fund, think huge, freakishly huge. Super fund was created to clean up this contaminated land. The contaminated land, once it gets cleaned up, okay, so you want to buy a piece of land, you found out it used to be a gas station, there's tanks underneath, those tanks are rusted, they've contaminated the soil. Once, then you go out to the EPA and you say, I need money. The super fund will clean up the land for you. Once the land is cleaned up, it is called a brown field. Brown field. That's what that land is called. The super fund, or CERCLA, which is the governing entity of all of it. Okay, so you have CERCLA, which is the recovery part, the super fund which pays for it, and the EPA is the division that makes sure the money goes in there. The EPA then goes after the bad guys, and they actually start suing the bad guys to fund the super fund. So that's what the super fund is. I think that is everything I talked about as far as environmental super fund. We did get some questions on ADA, American with Disabilities Act. We're trying to get those sorted out, but right now the environmental stuff is tested pretty heavily. Make sure you stick it in the same spot where you stick stigmatized properties, lead-based paint, radon, okay, and that section that we have all that in. If you can get that part in there, you're going to be in the right spot and you'll cover it. But that's all you have to say about CERCLA, and that's all you have to say about the EPA. Don't forget to mention that floodplain land use control is covered by is a police power. And then besides that, we are going to update all the slides. Mwah, mwah. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Really appreciate it. Chuck, if you are watching this, please add to your class, how was the test? Did you see anything you didn't recognize? And please communicate that back to us because we are diligently working on getting those numbers up. Thanks, guys.